Let me just revise the basics of fractions. You get a fraction like this. It's a proper fraction. The top number you call the numerator. The bottom one is a denominator. The denominator tells you in how many equal parts the whole one is divided. So this is 8 parts. And the numerator tells you how many of the 8 parts you took. So this will be 6 of them that's shaded. Fractions are called in 3 different ways. You have your proper fractions, improper fractions, and a mixed number. Proper fraction is 2/3, so it's less than a whole one. Your numerator is smaller than your denominator, 9/11, 3/8. Your improper fraction has more than one whole one in it. So it's 7/3. Your numerator is 7, denominator is 3. Your denominator tells you how many do you need to make a whole one. So in this improper fraction, you count in threes, 3, 6. You have 2 whole ones in that number. So if you convert this one to a mixed number, it will be 2 and 1/3 is left. Here you have an improper fraction. 11/11 makes a whole one. So if you subtract 11, it gives you 1 whole one and 9/11. Then this is called a mixed number. To convert from a mixed number to an improper fraction is very important when you want to add, subtract, and multiply. 3/3 makes a whole one. So you have to times a 3 with a 1. So it's 3 times by 1 is 3 plus 1, and that gives you 4/3. Then you're back to an improper fraction to get the 9/11. 11/11 makes a whole one. So it's 11 times by 1, and then you plus 9, and that gives you 20/11. When you have this fraction, you can first simplify that. So 4/8, if you divide both of them by 4, that gives you 2.5. To get the improper fraction, 8 times by 2 is 16. Write the 8 down. 8 times by 2 is 16, plus 4 gives you 28. Or when you take this one, you will get the same. It's 2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And when you simplify the 28, divide both by 4, divide by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So these two are equivalent fractions. Practice to convert between a mixed number to improper fractions and vice versa. So if you have 1 and 1/3, write down the 3. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4/3. Write down the 5. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14. 7, write it down. And now I have to convert to a mixed number, so I count in sevens. 7, 14, I can minus 2 sevens. So it gives me a 2 whole ones. 20 minus 14 is 6. So it's 2 and 6 sevens. To add and subtract mixed numbers, when you add, I know in grade 4, 5, 6, you first added the whole ones and subtracted the whole ones first. But down grade 7, you learn how to multiply also. Now, to make it easy for yourself, first to follow the following steps. Simplify all the fractions. Convert to improper fractions. Find the lowest common multiple. In this instance, it will be the lowest common denominator. Add the numerators. Simplify to the simplest form. You lose a mark if you don't simplify. If you look at this fraction here, this one is already in the simplest form, but I can simplify for 6's. I can divide both of them by 2, divide by 2. So that leaves me with 1 3/4 plus 2 2/3 plus 1 2/3. My next step is convert to improper fractions. So I convert, I write that 4 down. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7, plus 3. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus, write down the 3. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Now I have to get the same denominator. A hint is take your biggest denominator, count in your biggest denominator, and then you think, can the others divide into it? So if I take 4, I count 4, 8, 12. Yes, 3 can divide into 12. So I will use 12 as my common denominator. So write a 12 there. You can write it separately, 12, 12, 12, or you can write it over one common denominator. Do the following. Write down, what must I do with a 4 to get 12? Because you tend to forget to multiply at the top and the bottom. What must I do with a 3 to make it 12? Times by 4 times by 4. 3 times 4 times 4. That's 7 times 3 is 21, plus 8 times 4 is 32, plus 5 times 4 is 20. Now you just add that, it is 12s. And now you add 20 plus 30 is 50, 73. 73. Now this is an improper fraction. Now count in 12s. It's 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. Closest to 73 is 72. So I can subtract a 72. How many 12s is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will be 6 whole ones. How many 12s are left? 73 minus 72 gives me 1/12. When you add, or when you subtract the fractions, you follow the same steps. You simplify, convert, find the lowest common multiple, subtract the numerators, and then you simplify to the simplest form. First, I look at this fraction. Can I simplify any of those two? No, I can't. Then I start with my calculations. I first convert to improper fractions. I write down the 5 there at the bottom. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17, minus 3. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Then I count in my biggest denominator, 5, 10, 15, and I say, yes, I can divide the 3 into 15. So my smallest denominator will be 15. Write down, what must I do with the 5 to make it 15? I times by 3, times by 3. The 3 to make it 15, I times by 5, times by 5. 17 times by 3 is 51 minus 25. That gives me 15. 51 minus 25 is 26. Now I have to get the whole ones out and make it a mixed number again. I count in 15s. 15, 30. Oh, 30 is too much. So I can only take out one whole one. So minus 15 there. That gives me one whole one, and then 26 minus 15 is 11 15s. I cannot simplify that, so this is my final answer.